Hello there. My name is Paul Campbell, and I am going to continue to read You Know Something Is Wrong When, an American Affidavit of Probable Cause. Today we will be going over Part 9, The Aftermath. A two-step national fraud dance. The national fraud requires two very large governmental services corporations. One to act as a bankrupt shell and the other to act as the current service provider. 1. The bankrupt organization claims that its citizens stand as sureties for its debts. 2. The service provider then sends its bills to the bankruptcy trustees, and they pass through the costs to us, the presumed sureties. We can't protest the charges or the presumption because we and our estates were never told that we were offered by Franklin D. Roosevelt and friends as collateral backing their private corporate debts. Imagine that a fast food chain is facing bankruptcy, so it calls together all the local franchise owners and they pledge their customers and their customers' assets as co-signers and collateral backing their debts. That's what happened in America in 1933. Planned bankruptcy, identity theft, and credit fraud. Welcome, suckers! The United States Commercial Company operated from 1754 to 1863, was bankrupted by foreign banks during the Civil War. The United States of America Incorporated operated from 1868 to 1933. From 1912 to 1933, it was run under the Federal Reserve and bankrupted by these foreign banks. It entered Chapter 11 reorganization and was used as the pass-through shell company until July of 2013. The United States Incorporated has been operated from 1944 to present by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, as the service provider billing the bankrupt United States of America Incorporated. It is now being prepared to be bankrupted in turn by still more foreign banks. The United States of America Incorporated, operated by a brand new version of Federal Reserve organized under UN auspices, is waiting in the wings to become the new service provider. Each time these colluding banking cartels jettison their debts via bankruptcy, they leave the American people and the American states on the hook to pay their bills. Finally, the good news: there is no statute of limitation on fraud, and this entire circumstance is based on commercial fraud. The bankruptcies of these bank-run governmental services corporations do not mean that our country is bankrupt. If we wake up, put our feet down, and refuse to be represented as sureties for their debts, all that happens is that they have to deal with the problems they created. Their corporation goes bankrupt, and any other corporation. Not us, not our families, not our businesses, not our states, not our nations. Not anymore. We have said it once and we'll say it again. Every living American state citizen has more civil authority on the land than the entire federal government. There are over 390 million organic states of the Union, including the new 50 geographically defined states and the living people inhabiting them. Each American is a state and recognized as such under international law. We each have our own government. Free will equals executive branch, logic equals legislative branch, and conscience equals judicial branch. This creates an insoluble problem for the would-be despots. They can occupy the landed estates, and they have done so. They can subvert the state governments and turn them into commercial franchises serving only United States citizens. They can subvert the country governments in the same way. They can commit commercial fraud until the cows come home, but when it comes to subverting the individual Americans, that is another story. That is a battle too difficult and a bridge too far. There will always be at least one last man standing who remembers who he is and what he is, and who brings the claim before the rest of the world as we do now. We are able and competent to present ourselves as states of the United States of America, endowed by our Creator with all the faculties of self government, flying the peaceful civil flag of the United States of America. Major, bringing forth this affidavit in behalf of all the American states and placing it firmly on the record before Pope Francis Global State Trustee. HRM Elizabeth II, our trustee on the high seas and inland waterways, where all this skullduggery and fraud against us has occurred. Secretary of the Treasury, John Jacob Lew, President Barack H. Obama, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the International Bar Association, the members of Congress, everyone pretending to be a judge, the American people, and you. Public notice of the facts. Here are our autographs, not signatures, and our seals, thumbprints, in blood and without representation of any kind, being witnessed by 7 billion people. That was part 9. Next time we will be going over part 10, The Journey On.